It's back. Bigger. Better. And better. It's Black History Month, the sequel, a 28-day celebration of black exploitation films. As I've mentioned before, kids are rarely used in blaxploitation films, and that's probably for a good reason. These movies contain a lot of themes unsuitable for young ages, so if you do find yourself having to use kids to tell a story, then you better make sure that story stands on its own, without any gratuitous sex or violence. Luckily for director William A. Graham, writers Jack DeWitt and Not Mean Joe Green wrote the hell out of the script for Together Brothers. Together Brothers is a bit of a change of pace for blaxploitation, as there's no action, no comedy, all drama. And I'd say that was a good thing, because being released in the same year as Foxy Brown, Black Belt Jones, Willie Dynamite, and Truck Turner, it was probably in its best interest to try to separate itself from those movies and try to stand out in other ways. It may not have succeeded in making a name for itself on the same level as others, but it was successful in delivering a very different type of movie, one that you might not expect going in. Together Brothers starts out bucking trends, as it was filmed on location in Galveston, Texas, a location never used during this time. It tells the story of a black cop, affectionately nicknamed Mr. Cool, who polices his own neighborhood, not with a heavy hand, but in a more relatable, down-to-earth way. He's played by Ed Bernard, who had already been in Shaft and Across 110th Street. And here, in Together Brothers, he's surrounded by criminal activity, but he doesn't come down hard on people just trying to live. Instead, he usually offers words of wisdom to try to guide them on the right path. Because of this, he's massively respected in the neighborhood, especially by the local juvenile gang called the Brothers United, comprised of 4 black kids and led by a kid named HJ, played by Ahmad Nuruddin in his first and only major movie role. It was a smart move to use the first 20 minutes of the movie to establish this dynamic between Mr. Cool and the rest of the neighborhood, because it ultimately means a lot more than it normally would when Mr. Cool is gunned down dramatically by an unknown assailant. You can't help but react to it, because in just that short amount of time, you've come to like this guy, and probably in the back of your head said, I wish more cops were like this guy. The only person to witness the murder was Tommy, the 5-year-old younger brother of HJ, who goes into shock and is rendered mute by the incident. Gee, I can't imagine why. Together Brothers pulls no punches. Together Brothers then turns into a murder mystery and manages to keep you invested the entire time, as HJ and the rest of the brothers not only try to uncover who murdered their somewhat mentor, but also keep the killer from returning to harm Tommy, the only witness. What most impressed me about the Together Brothers was the competent performances by a mostly new cast. HJ in particular is a standout as the no-nonsense and smart leader of the group, who just wants to make things right despite his standing in society. I also like the indifferent attitudes to the murder of Mr. Cool. Some people could give a damn about a dead black cop, but others respect that he truly cared about them and the community, even other gang members. This indifference presents an uphill battle and a compelling conflict for the brothers, since not everybody is willing to give them information to help them solve the case. The movie also low-key comes off as a slasher horror film during scenes when the unseen killer regularly stalks Tommy, and we only see their feet or hands. Now you might think you can figure out who done it before the end, but trust me, you won't be able to figure it out, so you might as well just enjoy the ride, because when it is revealed, it unexpectedly becomes one of the most polarizing yet heartfelt moments of the film. Without revealing too much, I'll just say you definitely won't know how to feel at its conclusion. It does have some moments I felt were out of place, like when the gang gets help from the Hispanic gang to break into the police station. I felt that part was a little unnecessary and felt like padding. It's also kind of funny seeing Glenn Turman in this, playing an older man 1 year before he would play a high schooler in Cooley High. Together Brothers deals with a lot of themes and concepts, but in my opinion, it smartly ties it all together to craft an entertaining, if not somewhat depressing story about an authority figure's impact on the community. It's a highly recommended watch for me, as long as you know it's a little bit different than the usual blaxploitation fare. The music is great also, and Barry White did the score and the soundtrack, another rarity. Come for the uniqueness of it, but stick around for the mystery.